Hello, this is meteorologist Brad Warner from Region Weather Live. I just want to talk a little bit about the snow that's expected across southern Minnesota here Monday night on into Tuesday morning, but also to talk about all this hubbub that you've probably been hearing about the possibility of some cold weather and some snowy weather over the Thanksgiving week and weekend. So we're going to talk about that just because it's kind of been bugging me. There's been a lot of hype about it. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure at the moment if I'm seeing it correctly or not, but I'm not seeing it like everybody else. But anyway, let's first take a look what's going on right now here Monday night. And as of about 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time, you can see this band of rain that's been slowly moving northward here throughout the day. Actually, a good chunk of rain's been falling across southeast South Dakota and southwestern parts of Minnesota. And again, most of that's been, or I should say all of it's been rain throughout the day. We also have a little bit of mixed precipitation right now going on up in North Dakota. Most of this has been kind of hanging around the Bismarck area, some scattered showers, but perhaps some flakes of snow now beginning to mix in to portions of northwest North Dakota as well. That's really not the area of concern that we're looking at. It's with this main band down here running into some colder weather as essentially as the temperatures begin to fall through the overnight hours, this rain turning into snow. And so because of that, the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory here, all in purple just south of the Twin Cities area, and then moving westward into Marshall, Minnesota, and kind of closely reaching that DeCement area into South Dakota. Most of that is just because we're talking about the potential of 1 to 3 inches of slushy, wet type of snow. And the other problem is it's going to be occurring in the morning and possibly affecting that morning commute time frame. So when you wake up in the morning, allow yourself a little extra time just because it looks like some of this rain is going to turn over to snow and we could be seeing some accumulations and some slippery road conditions on your morning commute. And so here's one of the models essentially turning that rain over to snow. This is right around 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. And there by 9 o'clock, actually, we still have a fair amount of snow remaining over southeastern portions of Minnesota. But it won't be too long, and eventually that does move out by about the noon time frame, and then we're going to be dry for the remainder of the afternoon. Roads should clear up, but once again, just be mindful of those road conditions in the morning. Now, beyond that, we do have another little wave that begins to dive southward out of Canada Wednesday night on into Thursday, bringing along with it a nice little cold front, probably some windier conditions on the backside. But the good news with this particular system, because it's essentially diving out of Canada, doesn't really have a whole lot of moisture to work with. And so you see as that cold front essentially moves south throughout the day on Thursday, not a whole lot of precip falls out of that. Maybe a few showers, maybe some snowflakes mixed in with some of the showers in there throughout the day on Thursday, particularly probably in the northeastern parts of Minnesota. But other than that, the system really isn't going to get going until maybe more so once it moves a little bit further eastward, taps into some of this moisture a little bit further south. But even then, you could see just a little bit of snow across the East Coast. And then our next little chance becomes Sunday night on into Monday. Again, a little disturbance coming out of Canada, moving quickly eastward. But once again, as this moves eastward, not a whole lot of moisture to work with, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow mixed in. If this is going to affect any of the areas, once again, it's probably going to be across northern, northeastern parts of Minnesota with some rain, some snow mixed, maybe a little light accumulation out of this one, but nothing too scary. And then as we get into next Tuesday or Wednesday, we get this low pressure system that begins to eject out of the southwest. Now, this is mainly going to affect areas across Texas, Missouri, on into the Great Lakes region. But again, most of that's going to be rain. We're not really looking at much for snow. In particular, with this system, we have a northern system that kind of wants to feed into this a little bit, but even that remains fairly dry as it does so. And so at the surface there, you see that rain moving from southwest to northeast, a little bit of snow here and there, but ultimately we have this big high pressure system that kind of sags into our area by Thursday. So we're not really looking at anything right now for Turkey Day itself, and that continues on into Friday as that big high pressure system continues on. We get into Saturday, again, that high pressure continues on. It might not be, might not be until more so Sunday when a system ejects out of the mountain west and maybe brings some snow across our region. Now, this is just one particular model. This is the European model. The American model, fairly similar, brings the system out of the southwest on Monday and Tuesday. Again, mostly rain, brings it a little bit further north and affects our area, but this is going to be bringing some warmer temperatures up along with it. So not really expecting snow. If anything, it's going to be rain on Tuesday. As we look at this next system pulling through, perhaps on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some rain or some rain snow mixed here and there. Quick little hitting system potentially going through on Friday. Again, maybe some light accumulations across the northern parts of North Dakota and Minnesota, where we're talking maybe 2 to 3 inches, 4 possibly. Just depends on how much steam it really gets, but no big blizzard type of conditions like maybe you've been hearing about once in a while online. It's not until you get, once again, until Sunday when you get a larger system that begins to pull out. But you can see the American model really doesn't bring a whole lot of snow across our region at this moment. So when we take a look at the potential snowfall out of the couple of longer range models, here you can see this one that basically drops the snow here overnight, Monday night on into Tuesday morning. And then the snow across the far north, not a whole lot predicted by the American model. The European model, a little more aggressive on that Sunday storm. That's where a lot of this is coming. But the European model has been really all over the place, as well as the American model. It's way too far out to really say for certain what's going to happen by the time Sunday rolls around. So basically some snow here going on into Tuesday morning, a little bit of shots here and there, some showers mixed with some snow showers here and there. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big high pressure system moves in. We go on into Saturday, not a whole lot there. Sunday, a little bit of rain mixed with snow. Next week going on into Thanksgiving week. Thursday here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, a little bit of snow here and there. Nothing really big for certain out on the horizon. One thing we do know for sure, just because it does look like we have a couple of cold fronts moving through our region, that after this week, we can see our high temperatures are looking at 40s and 50s for the most part across the area. But once we get beyond the weekend, and actually look at this, we got 40s almost into the 60s in some areas across South Dakota. But once we get into more so Wednesday night and into Thursday, there's our high temperatures Thursday and Friday dipping down, where we will be struggling to get above freezing for much of the northern parts of our area going on into Thanksgiving weekend. In fact, once we get into Monday, or rather Saturday and Sunday, our high temperatures might actually struggle to get out of the teens for a lot of us. So there is definitely a cool down coming, but guys, it is late November up here in the northern plains, in the Midwest. Yep, it's about time that it's going to get a little cold around here. But at the moment, I just can't buy into the big hype that there's this big storm coming. That's at least going to be affecting us. For us across the Dakotas and Minnesota, that just doesn't look like that big storm coming at the moment. Doesn't mean things could change as we get closer to next weekend, as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday, all that kind of fun stuff. But right now, boy, I'm surprised there's been about as much hype as there's been out there. Maybe I'm missing something, but right now I just don't see it. Everything's coming out of the south and west. Most of our stuff coming out of the north is just too dry, and right now everything's just going to miss us. The big stuff's going to miss us. So that's what it's looking like on my end. So with that, I hope you guys have a great week. Maybe I'll talk to you later in the week if anything looks to change or shift when it comes to regards to that potential. But for now, that's kind of what we're looking at. All right, everybody, for Regional Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody have a good day.